Nnamdi, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you very much.
So let's start with the national conference going on in Nigeria. I know that several groups were not allowed to be part of it because they don't want people to go to the no-go area. What is your take on the national conference going on?
It's a discussion forum. It's been going on for very many years, as you can recall. This is about the fourth incident or major gathering of this magnitude happening in that very place they call Nigeria. It has no resonance. It doesn't resonate with us at all because it is the same people that caused the problem that are going to this conference. How can you ask people that created a problem to go and solve it? I've not seen where that's ever happened in the world before. So our take on it is that people are free to talk. I believe in democracy and in the right and freedom of anyone to speak. So if people wish to gather to speak on a range of issues they consider very pertinent to their problems, then we welcome it. But in terms of affecting our overall outcome or in a way trying to improve our lives, I very much doubt it. If you look at the caliber of people that are sending there to represent what I regard, unquote, Igbo interest, you will see how distressing it is that a man that killed and murdered his own people at Asaba in the shape of Obasanda Ike Nwachukwu is there representing the same people that he killed, just by virtue of the fact that his name is Igbo, which we find abominable. Someone like Nwobodo is there. Nwobodo was instrumental in the failure of Ekweme at the PDP convention in Jos in 1999. In fact, he left his own mother tongue and was speaking Hausa. He is there also representing us, so it doesn't have any meaning for us. What we're saying to them is this: if you go there and negotiate any other thing apart from Biafra, you better not come back, because our people will be waiting for that very person. The zoo has come to an end. They keep killing our people. And for how long are we going to allow this contraption concocted by Frederick Lugard to continue to waste the lives of innocent people?
Now, let me stop you there. You said something that I'm interested in. People who look at several Biafran groups and movements always look at this kind of statement, like the one you made now. Let him not come back home, otherwise he will explain to us. But we know that they will go there and they will come back home. And what will happen? You see, is this a statement that there is something that will happen? Because one of the things that happen in Africa, in Nigeria, and wherever you look at, is that there are no consequences. And people who try to force consequences to be exerted end up saying things and nothing happens. What will happen to Ike Nwachukwu when he comes back home? Because you know he's not going there to negotiate Biafra. You know that.
Of course, we know that very well. Okay. What will happen to him is this. Already, we know that some of them live in Abuja and Lagos axis. There is nobody that speaks for the Yoruba nation that lives in anywhere in Igbo land or in Biafra land. There is no prominent Hausa person that lives anywhere in Biafra land. What we are saying to this man and his likes is that, of course, they will underestimate us because those that have gone before us have made threats and didn't carry it out. This time it is different. If we can place the name Biafra on satellite, if we can broadcast so that the whole world can hear us every blessed day, if we are in over 70 countries around the world with over 5 million listeners, there is nothing we cannot do. This time around, things are very, very different, believe you me. Very, very different, and very soon the world will hear about it. Because the only language that people in the zoo understand is the language of violence and force. After all, that very contraption was put together by Frederick Lugard by force. That's one thing people don't understand, that Lugard killed people to bring Nigeria together. And the killing of people to disintegrate the zoo shouldn't come to anybody as a surprise. Our promise is very simple. If they fail to give us Biafra, Somalia will look like a paradise compared to what will happen to that zoo. It is a promise, it is a pledge, and it's also a threat to them. Mm-hmm. They must understand this, that we've had enough of this nonsense. These criminals cannot be stealing money belonging to everybody. These same men cannot be responsible for the length and breadth of the death, the abominable things they continue to do to the people in that very country. Every day, every week, every month, and every year, we cannot allow that to continue. It's impossible for us to let that continue, because this nonsense has to come to an end. What in Ghana must happen.
Now, let me ask you, when his name was announced as the leader of the Igbo delegation, so the So why didn't your group question the governors that appointed him the leader of the Igbo people to the national conference?
It's because the governors you have in Biafra land are an extension of the Hausa Fulani hegemony. They were appointed by Hausa Fulani men to come and do the bidding of Hausa Fulani oligarchy in that very part of the world. So it didn't come to us at all as a surprise. Every Igbo governor you have has a Hausa Fulani godfather. Hausa Fulani people put them there. They are there to do their bidding. If you go to Imo State, you'll understand what I'm saying. Rocha Sokorocha, or whatever his name is, has single-handedly Islamized the whole of Imo State. And that very process is also ongoing in Ebonyi State. Are you talking about Theodore Oji? He is pathetic and laughable. These are the men they gave to us as it P2B. You're a journalist yourself, Okonkwo. Nobody has ever asked P2B about Izu River. How many people he killed at Izu River and dumped their bodies there? They are also human beings with fathers and mothers. No one ever complained. These are the caliber of people, the caliber of leeches and cabals they have imposed on us. And we are here to resist it. And we shall, this year, to be very precise.
Now, let me ask, because there are the group, the Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign Nation of Biafra. I'm familiar with the group, and I know that one of their principal ideas is that this should be done in a peaceful way. Is your group opposed to a peaceful way of achieving Biafra, or are you in support of both sides, whether peaceful or non-peaceful? What is your group behind?
I support both sides. If they give us peace, that is wonderful. If they decide to go down the route of violence, then I can give you this assurance today. Of course, your worldwide listeners and viewers may be able to note this. If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing living in that very zoo they call Nigeria. Nothing will survive there, I can assure you. You see, 1967 to 1970 is not 2013 to 2015. We had scientists then. Now we have men that can make things happen, even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should ring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization or whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. If you know, you tell me. I'm a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It's never happened. Never, ever, ever.
Now, let me ask you, if you look at the world today, look at a place like Scotland, where people, the Scottish, are in the process of trying to see if they will get their own country. Basically, the way they went about it was to say, we want to be separate from the British, England, and they are putting a process where they will vote, and if majority of them say they want to move, and they will move. Now, I want to ask you, do you think that if you ask majority of Igbo people today whether they should be part of Nigeria or part of Biafra, that you have the numbers that will come to your side of the argument?
Yes, we have over 98% of our people willing. The other 2% are those fathered by Hausa Fulani men as a consequence of the war. Everybody born as a Biafran, everybody born as an Igbo, Ibibio, Efik, Anangebanke, anybody born as a Ijo has freedom implanted in their DNA. That is why we have autonomous communities. Have you seen anywhere in the world where you have autonomous communities? Have you seen? The answer is no. The reason why we have autonomous communities is because we are born to be free. We want to be autonomous. And that freedom must be carried right all the way to the heart of governance in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. We must make this very, very clear and abundantly clear to our people that our quest is for us to be free. You mentioned Scotland. Scotland is already a free nation. What they are seeking in Scotland is independence. We are not free and we are not independent either. So that is why the same scenario doesn't apply at all. In Scotland, as a Scottish person, you have your own parliament. You can do whatever you like. You even have what is called tax-raising powers. You can raise taxes or you can lower them as you like. The Scottish Court of Sessions is in charge of the entire legal process in Scotland.
Now, let me ask you. I know. Why don't your group push for that in a place like the national conference that is going on now to get that kind of autonomy first, rather than now pushing for independence without whether Nigeria wants it or not?
The fact of the matter is that the structures doesn't exist. The institutions that will allow the emergence of a democratic Biafra within a peaceful setting does not currently exist in that very place you call Nigeria. Mind you, that is the name of a river. Up north, you call them Niger, which is French. If you come down a little bit, it is called Niger, which is English. And the people that live around it are called Nigerians. The only place, or part of the only place in Black Africa where you name a people after a river. I have never seen any civilized country in the world where people are named after a river. It's never happened before. The people own the river, not the other way around. By tacitly accepting the word and the tag Nigeria, what it means is that you never had any history until Frederick Lugard came, which is a fallacy, it's an abomination, and nobody should be saying that. Coming back to what you said, there is no way we can run for office as a political party. We tried it with ABGA and it did not work. These issues were trashed out very well. Is that the people that control the levers of power within Nigeria are not politically sophisticated enough to appreciate the finer point of political discourse. In other words, that disputes resolution can best be conducted within a political setting where people are civilized. And I'm afraid to say that what I see in the zoo they call Nigeria, people are not civilized.
Now, we're out of time, but let me ask you, last week, I believe, the Biafran Zionist movement claimed a responsibility for the attack at the Enugu State Government House. Are you familiar with that group, and what was the mission of that attack?
I am familiar with a lot of groups. That name rings a bell. Anybody that can do anything to disrupt the present orthodoxy of governance by a group of very corrupt cabals is welcome. In that regard, I welcome what they did at Enugu, and I hope that people can come out and join us when the time comes to overthrow the very corrupt, inept old men and women in charge of that very place, because Biafra must exist. It's our right to make sure it happens.
About this quest to liberate Biafra from the shackles of the iniquitous zoological republic. You need to understand this very clearly. We are not going to stop. We are not going back. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter what your report says. I don't care the countries putting it together. It is irrelevant to me. What matters is the liberation of Biafra. Therefore, if Katsina State has any brain in her skull, if all those idiots encouraging the zoo to continue, if they have any brain in their skull, they will say, let us allow Biafra to go with their trouble, because I can assure you, as night follows day, that Biafra must come or we all die in the process. Do you know why? Because what we are looking for is what belongs to us. I am asking for something that I had before the white man came. White man is not God. He's not God because he's in heaven. I assure you, God Almighty is in heaven and his will must be done upon our lives. They are not God. Nobody can create a country for me. I decide where I want to belong to. The people must decide if Nigeria is the country or not a white man and a white woman. All these idiots suffering from inferiority complex, shame on all of you. You are foolish. Useless black people, because of your stupidity. That is why Africa is being treated the way it is today, like a trash can, more or less. As Trump said, a shithole. A white man has no business creating country for me, because I, Nnamdi Kanu, as a black man, I cannot go to Europe to create a country for them. Why then should I allow a white man and a drunken white woman to come to my land to create country for me? If you accept it, you are inferior. If you accept it, you are a nigger. If you accept it, you are stupid. In fact, you are a gorilla is better than you. A monkey is better than you. That is why they insult you abroad. That is why they kill you, because they look at you as the embodiment of stupidity. Let them come to defend one Nigeria with 200 soldiers. And those of them saying, count us out of secessionism. We are indigenous people, we are aborigines. That's what they said to Yoruba. Now they are refugees in the Republic. You know, people are fools, you can't reason very well. That's what they will say. No, we are on our own. We want to be on our own. Whereas Sokoto Caliphate, they claim, are together with Hausa. All these dancing naked in public that you people are doing, are they doing it? They said, we are from Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom and Cross River, Black. Coastal Aborigines say they are not in support of agitation for secession. And I keep asking them, people talk this nonsense, idiotic white people talk this rubbish about secession. Nigeria became a country in 1960. People were born in 1950, 1940s, 1930s. How can they secede from something that they're older than? I don't know where our mentality, God forbid, what is wrong with the brain of a black man? How can I secede? I am older than something you're telling me to say I'm seceding from. My father, my mother, my grandparents, all of my uncles, they're older than Nigeria. Nigeria is only older than me by only 7 years. I am older than my people, my uncles are older than Nigeria. How can they secede from something that they're older than? So who were they before this secession rubbish came into being in 1960? Do you see how you people denigrate yourselves? Do you see how you insult yourselves? Do you see how you make a mockery of your education? Secessionist. Seceding from what? Something a white man created for his own amusement. How about my grandparents? How about my ancestors? Where are they from, I ask you? I ask you, where are my ancestors from? I am seceding from something that was formed only in 1960. The entire cabinet of Nigeria is older than Nigeria. Who were they before Nigeria was formed in 1960? I'm asking you, talking about secession. I am asking a simple question. Can you answer it? You cannot answer because you're black, you're stupid, you're idiotic, you have no brain. You cannot answer it. Can you? How can I secede from something that was born in 1960? God have mercy upon your ignorant souls, you black people. You are a shame, you're a disgrace to even your own selves. Secession. Seceding from what? I'm asking you. Something a white man created, and you're not even ashamed of yourself to use the word secession. Mad people everywhere. Black. That's how they deceive you. The day they come to take your land, you'll be crying like a little baby. The history of Hausa people are there to remind you how not to treat the Fulani. The history of the Bagi people is there. The history of Nupe people is there. The history of the Bachana people, they are there for you to see, to learn from. You have history that you may learn. The history of Afonja in Yoruba land is there for you to learn how the Fulanis behave. But idiotically, you will never understand because you're black and you're useless. You are created by a white man. Nigeria is a product, is a racist product of a white man. You idiots, understand it for once. I have a few announcements to make to more than anybody else. Now, if those people they are sending to come down to our land, those 200 soldiers are there to kill their own fellow Fulani heads, but we know they cannot. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that we know the forest where Fulani headsmen are camped? We know when they are coming to villages to attack. Have you ever asked yourself, a Fulani headsman of over, say, 80 people going into a village to murder people? They are retreating. There are police stations along the way. Have you ever asked, have you zoo people, zoo animals, Nigerians, have you ever asked yourself, why is it difficult for the police or the army to give chase after Fulani bandits and killers, after they must have sacked a village? Why are they not doing it? I don't, sometimes they said God made man in his own image. In other words, giving us the ability to be able to reason and to discern. And I'm asking you this evening, for those who are listening to me, I'm asking you, have you ever actually sat down? It's not difficult. I'm not asking you to do a very difficult analysis of a complex situation or an equation. First, ask yourself, This village has been attacked by Fulani. That village. Why don't they deploy helicopter gunships to go and look for them? Why is it? Have you ever heard before that after an attack on a village by Fulani headsmen, that the police gave them chase on the army? Have you ever heard that before? Simple question. I'm putting this question to all the chief justices and judges of all the Biafran states. Those of you holding Biafrans, sending them to Abuja to be killed by a Fulani Janjaweed. I'm asking you a simple question. All these years you've been hearing about Fulani headsmen attack in this village, in that village. I am asking you, every time, I am asking you, all the time. Every time you hear about all these things, have you ever heard that 82 Division Enugu are now chasing those headsmen that came to Zowan and killed people? Have you ever heard, after the massacre in Bende, that somehow or Hafia mobilized or OPs mobilized? Have you ever heard that headsmen are being pursued by the army or the police after an attack on a village? It's a simple question. Any day you can get your brain around this. Any day, believe you me, any day you sit down and you think about what I've just said now, you hate Nigeria more than I hate Nigeria. A land brimming with hypocrites, unrepentant hypocrites, unrepentant hypocrites, evil people. Army are busy attacking villagers, defending themselves. None of you can reason. None of you can think and ask yourself. But so that what it means is that all these people, Fulani killers, that what they're doing is legitimate. That's what you're saying by your silence. That's what it means. That is why when I read Zoo newspapers, when I read their commentators or people talking about Nigeria, I laugh at them. Do you know why I laugh at them? Because they are very, very foolish. I have never heard before that the army attacked any camp run by bandits. I have never heard that. I have never heard that helicopter gunships went looking for Fulani terrorists. Never, ever before. Maybe against Boko Haram, because Boko Haram is killing them. That's all. Now ask yourself why that is the case. Any day you answer that question, believe you me, you will despise the zoo more than I do. These are the things you want me to understand. These are the things that you need to know about your stupid one Nigeria. That is why I keep saying, when I see somebody talking, I'm a Nigerian, one Nigeria, believe you me, you are beneath an animal. You are the greatest fool. I can't even stand you. Because you're foolish. Irredeemably foolish. I'm asking you a simple question. Have you ever heard before that Fulani, have you ever heard before that after the attack at Ozuwani, after the attack on the Ebonyi villages, did you hear that the army are now chasing those people that came and killed innocent people? The answer is no. All you do is you lament, you can sit down. When we formed the ESN to stop such rubbish, or some of you idiots were complaining, that you never blame the Fulani for coming to kill your people. No, you won't blame them. Look at Dave Umahi. Talking like a fool. Talking like a fool. Dave Umahi, talking like an idiot. I said, he came out, he said, oh, I love you, Fulani. I'm in love with you, now you have killed my people. I was protecting you. One phone call, the idiot changed his mind and started singing a different tune altogether. They are your so-called leaders. Are these the leaders you will go to war with? Are they going to defend you when the Fulani come killing you? Or when they will come to your village, they are killing us anyway. When they now enter your are you trusting these idiots to defend you? You call your governors? I'm asking you a simple question. Do you trust them to defend you? The answer is no. There was an attack at Eleme. Fulani came and killed our mothers. Our mothers were protesting at Eleme. In broad daylight. We came and confirmed the vigilante in the township, to Mount Roadblock in the township. These are your leaders, yes? These are the so-called leaders that you have. Shame on all of you.